Part of the benefit of working with Zenith is our guarantees. So our slogan is on time, under budget, with no surprises. We came up with that because we noticed that a lot of times closings were delayed or moved out indefinitely. They were really sloppy, constantly asking for more documentation throughout the process and saying, hey, we're gonna be pre-approved, and then, oh wait, we need this one more document, and that the money was never accurate. We always needed more money at closing than what we were originally told. So part of our guarantees is to guarantee our pre-approval. So we're not gonna issue pre-approval without 100% certainty that your finances allow us to approve that loan. The way that we do this is collecting 100% of your paperwork on the front end, getting it reviewed and underwriting if necessary, and just making sure we've addressed any potential landmines or anything that could derail the process. It's much easier to address those items on day 1 than on day 30. And so that's why getting a pre-approval is so important. So much so that we put a guarantee behind it. So if we issue your pre-approval and you go under contract, and for any reason we can't close on the loan because of some financial item that we missed, we will cover your closing costs that you've paid for out of pocket ahead of time. We will cover your earnest money up to $10,000 if we lose it, any short-term moving expenses, and we'll even take it a step further and pay your seller $1,000 a day for any day that we don't close because of a delayed closing. So we really put our money where our mouth is. We want you to feel confident in that pre-approval. We also guarantee our closing costs. So we overestimate everything at the beginning of the transaction just to account for any variances that might be in there. We would rather you would be over-prepared than under-prepared. You also tend to like me better if it's $1,000 less than $1,000 more. So if I estimate your closing costs to be $5,000, for example, when we go under contract, and on closing day they come in at $5,001, I'm gonna cover the difference plus an additional $500. So you will never pay more in closing costs than what I originally estimated for you. We also guarantee that we'll meet all of your closing timelines. So your contract's gonna have a whole bunch of dates and deadlines in there. The most important ones are gonna be your appraisal deadline, your loan termination deadline, and your closing date. If we miss your loan termination deadline, that means we're gonna lose your earnest money. We certainly don't wanna do that. If we miss your closing date, you might be homeless. We don't wanna do that. So we really wanna make sure that you're super confident that all of your dates and deadlines are gonna be met without any issues, and that we've addressed absolutely anything that could potentially derail the transaction. Because once we identify the property, we're super excited and we just want to move. If I start asking you 100 questions that we could have answered way before you fell in love with your house, it just makes the process a lot easier and a lot more fun.